The story of Audie Murphy is one of astonishing bravery, personal struggle, Hollywood fame, and a death that has puzzled historians and fans for decades. Born on June 20, 1925 in Kingston, Texas, Murphy was the seventh of 12 children born to Emmett and Josie Bell Murphy, a sharecropping family struggling to survive during the Great Depression. When his father abandoned the family and his mother died while he was just 16, Audie became an orphan with only a fifth-grade education. He quit school and worked a string of odd jobs to keep his younger siblings alive. Those early hardships forged the resilience and sense of duty that would define his extraordinary life. In 1942, Audie attempted to enlist in the Navy and Marine Corps, but was rejected for being too small. At 5'5", and barely 110 pounds, he didn't fit the image of a soldier. But when he joined the U.S. Army, his physical size proved irrelevant. Over the course of World War II, Murphy fought bravely across North Africa, Italy, France, and Germany, quickly earning a reputation for tactical brilliance and fearless leadership. On January 26, 1945, near Holtzwihr, France, he performed the act that would define his legend. Wounded and outgunned, he climbed onto a burning tank destroyer, grabbed its .50 caliber machine gun, and single-handedly held off an entire German company for more than an hour. While firing, he simultaneously called in artillery strikes. This astonishing act of courage earned him the Medal of Honor at just 19 years old. By the war's end, Murphy had become the most decorated American soldier of World War II, receiving 33 U.S. and Allied awards, including the Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars, the Bronze Star, and 3 Purple Hearts. His story was nothing short of mythic, a young Texan with a limited education who became a national hero. Coming home should have been his happy ending. But like so many veterans, Murphy carried invisible scars. He suffered from what was then called battle fatigue, now known as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Nightmares, insomnia, and flashbacks plagued him. Rather than hide his pain, he spoke openly about it, making him one of the earliest public figures to shed light on the mental toll of war. Murphy channeled his fame into Hollywood. Though he never considered himself a great actor, he went on to appear in more than 40 films. His most iconic role came in 1955, when he starred as himself in To Hell and Back, the blockbuster adaptation of his memoir. Audiences saw him relive the very battles that made him famous, and the film broke box office records for Universal Pictures. Over the years, he also dabbled in songwriting, penning country tunes recorded by stars like Dean Martin and Charlie Pride. In 1957, Murphy gained attention for his role as the Utica Kid in Night Passage, acting alongside James Stewart and Dan Duryea. 2 years later, 1959 became a turning point in his film career. He starred in 3 westerns that showcased his versatility: The Wild and the Innocent, opposite Sandra Dee; Cast a Long Shadow, where he worked behind the scenes as co-producer with Walter Mirisch; and No Name on the Bullet, a taut, critically acclaimed thriller in which he played a hired killer. Critics praised his performance for its intensity and nuance, proving he was more than just a war hero playing cowboy. His reach extended to television, too. In 1960, he appeared with Thelma Ritter in StarTime's The Man, demonstrating his comfort with the small screen. That same year, he contributed to The Big Picture, the U.S. Army's TV series, appearing in 3 episodes and receiving the Outstanding Civilian Service Medal for his efforts. One standout episode, Broken Bridge, saw him visiting military bases in Germany, Italy, Turkey, and New Mexico, blending entertainment with real military insight. Murphy thrived creatively in the early 1960s, working with talented writers like Claire Huffaker on 7 Ways from Sundown and Posse from Hell, both 1961, and with Willard W. Willingham and his wife Mary, who became close friends. Together, they developed projects like the TV series Whispering Smith and films such as Battle at Bloody Beach, 1961, Bullet for a Bad Man, 1964, and Arizona Raiders, 1965. He even ventured abroad, shooting Trunk to Cairo in Israel in 1966, proving he could adapt to diverse roles. One of his most enduring collaborations was with director Bud Boetiker They met by chance in a boxing gym, a friendship that led to Murphy starring in Boitekers, The Cimarron Kid, 1952, and ultimately his final film, A Time for Dying, 1969. They had planned more films, A Horse for Mr. Barnum and When There's Something to Do, but both projects were left unfinished. Murphy's private life reflected the turbulence of his inner world. In 1949, he married actress Wanda Hendricks, whose Hollywood career was on the rise. Their marriage was under intense media scrutiny, and Murphy's PTSD made things difficult. After just 2 years, they divorced in 1951. A mere 4 days later, he married Pamela Opal Lee Archer, a former airline stewardess whose calm, grounded personality balanced his own restlessness. Together, they built a stable family life. They had 2 sons, Terry Michael Murphy, born in 1952, who would follow his father into the entertainment world, and James Shannon Murphy, born a few years later. Pamela became Audie's anchor, helping him navigate fame, trauma, and chronic pain. For decades, the circumstances of Audie Murphy's death have been wrapped in speculation. The official version was simple. On May 28, 1971, he died at 45 in a plane crash on Brush Mountain near Catawba, Virginia. The twin-engine Aero Commander aircraft went down in poor weather. Investigators blamed pilot error and low visibility. It seemed like a tragic accident, the sudden end of a national hero's life. But whispers began almost immediately. Conspiracy theories spread, fed by Murphy's connections to government circles, his business dealings, and the shadowy nature of some of his acquaintances. Some believed he was targeted by intelligence agencies because of sensitive information he allegedly possessed. Others pointed to organized crime or inconsistencies in the crash investigation. Why was the plane flying dangerously low? Why did some wreckage pieces vanish? Why did witness testimonies shift? For decades, these questions remained unresolved, leaving a dark cloud over his legacy. Recently, a team of independent investigators, equipped with modern forensic technology and newly declassified government documents, reopened the case. Their findings were disturbing. They uncovered evidence that the aircraft's control systems had been deliberately tampered with, wires cut and rerouted, in a way consistent with sabotage. Witnesses who had stayed silent for years came forward. One whistleblower, a retired official, claimed Murphy had stumbled upon sensitive covert operations, making him a liability to powerful interests. According to this testimony, the crash was not an accident, but a carefully orchestrated cover-up, designed to look like one. The implications are chilling. The most decorated American soldier of World War II may have been silenced not by fate, but by human hands. For Murphy's family, these revelations have been both painful and galvanizing. After years of accepting the official explanation, they're now demanding a public inquiry. Historians and military experts are reassessing Murphy's life in the context of Cold War politics, Hollywood's entanglements with intelligence agencies, and the dangers faced by public figures who stumbled into secrets. The final chapter of Audie Murphy's story is not the clean tale of a hero tragically lost. It's far darker, a reminder that even legends can fall prey to forces beyond the battlefield. The crash that claimed his life may have been the result of betrayal, not misfortune. And that unsettling truth casts a long, heavy shadow over the legacy of a man once celebrated as America's greatest hero.